Hi, I'm Ken LeBrun. There's a motion that's going to be presented to the General Conference session that upholds the principle, the Protestant principle of sola scriptura, not only in profession but also in practice. And you can find out about that at the website libertyofconscience.com. You can read all about that there. But I came across an article just recently that was put out by the North Pacific Union Conference, their online magazine called Northwest Adventist, and they came out with an article just the other day by Alden Thompson entitled "Your Old Men Shall Dream Dreams." Now, I don't necessarily agree with Alden Thompson on all his viewpoints, but this article was right on target. He's talking about the olden days when the Adventist Church was first formed. He makes reference to the first organizational meeting of the church in 1861, where they established the church covenant that decided how churches would become Seventh-day Adventist churches. And in that meeting, there was a discussion about the subject of creeds, and that was where Jan Loughborough talked about the 5 steps of apostasy, the first one being forming a creed, expressing in man-made phrases what the Bible says, and then using that man-made phrase as the test of fellowship. And James White agreed with him in that meeting. So Alden Thompson makes reference to that meeting, and he also makes reference to the 1872 fundamental principles. The preamble to that it was the first statement of beliefs ever written by Seventh-day Adventists, says the following. It says, "We do not put forth this as having any authority with our people, nor is it designed to secure uniformity among them as a system of faith, but is a brief statement of what is and has been with great unanimity held by them." In other words, in the preamble to the statement of beliefs, it made it clear that this statement is not to be prescriptive, it is merely descriptive. It is describing what Seventh-day Adventists believe. It's for informational purposes, but they say it does not hold any authority, that it cannot be used. The wording, this man-made wording, cannot be used as a test of fellowship, is what it's saying. And Dr. Alden Thompson is making reference to this, and he puts it in the framework of, I have this dream that the church would go back to the olden days when we were non-creedal in that sense. And so I recommend that article in nwadventist.com is where you'll find that article, and you can read what he says there. And what I like about the whole fact that this was published is that here we have the North Pacific Union Conference actually supporting and endorsing the very motion that's going to be presented to the General Conference in regard to inserting this statement from the 1872 fundamental principles into our current preamble to our current fundamental beliefs, which assures that we are not creedal in practice as well as in our profession. So if you want to know more about this initiative and the motion that's going to be sent to the General Conference session, watch this video on the biggest issue facing the 2025 General Conference session. Thanks.